Nature Girl 30 here, and this is my mini Q&A number 25. Thank you guys so much for sending me questions, and if you have any more questions for me, please send them to my YouTube inbox or send it to me on Twitter at RKH30 hashtag Nature Girl Q&A. I actually got my first Twitter one, guys. This actually comes from Sheldon Richardson via Twitter. He asked me if you could make a faction, who would be in it? Wow. Okay, of course it would probably be, I have to actually think of the most charismatic people, and that's actually a really good question. Honestly, I would say that Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho would be in a faction, will be a part of the faction, as well as Wade Barrett, Damian Sandow, Cody Rhodes. Let me see, who has the most charisma? There's not really a lot of people that actually has a charisma. And I'm also making it a heel faction, so it'll probably be Alberto Del Rio back as a heel. And you're going to need a giant enforcer, so I have to say the Big Show. The Big Show is probably one of the best heels out there as a giant. I love, don't get me wrong, I love Mark Henry. Mark Henry was a great heel. But the thing is, he's just, I mean, it's great for him being an intimidating heel, but there's got to be a lot more to a heel than just brute strength. You have to have common sense. You have to have, you know, that brain as well as brawn. So far it's going to be Chris Jericho, Wade Barrett, Damian Sandow, and Cody Rhodes. The only thing I can think of, the name of the faction is the Masterminds. That's all I can think of is the Masterminds. With Damian Sandow pretty much being the most prominent mastermind, but Wade Barrett is also not only a mastermind, but he's also a good brawler. So I would pretty much call him the Masterminds. That's what I would call him pretty much. And the thing would be brains and brawn. Like, not only the fact that you can beat people up, it's the fact that you're smart enough to be able to not outwit them, but also beat them in their own game. So that's why I would call them the Masterminds. What company? WWE really needs it more than TNA, because TNA is a lot more creative, and they can actually come up with factions that will pretty much go on as long as it can possibly can. So I would have to say WWE. But thank you so much, Sheldon, for sending me questions. And anybody else that have questions for me, please send it to me via Twitter or via Twitter on my YouTube inbox. But Twitter is also awesome too at RKH30 hashtag Nature Girl Q&A. Moving on to my next set of questions that actually come from YouTube. My first set of questions come from Largest85. I've been called emo because I like Nirvana. Do you agree? There's nothing emo about Nirvana, man. Like, seriously. They were grunge. They started the grunge movement. So there is nothing emo about Nirvana. If people call you emo, that means they don't know Nirvana or even listen to the music, in my opinion. What would Kurt Cobain look like if he was alive today? Really old looking, very tired, and Kurt Cobain was young when he passed away, and he would probably be, I think Kurt Cobain was maybe in his late 20s, so right now he would be fairly old, probably maybe in his maybe mid to late 30s, I believe, but with everything he's done to himself, he will look fairly old. I mean, that's just how I see it, because of everything he's done, the drugs he's been on and the stress he's been under. He will look very old for his age. What do you think of Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter, attempting suicide? I'm going to be honest. It really does hurt me for the fact that Paris it was trying to kill herself. It really is a shame. I'm not going to say she's doing it for attention. Just the thought of suicide alone is absolutely no joke. It's not anything you should take with a grain of salt. And usually there's probably a lot of hidden dramas going on with that family. It hasn't been documented time and time again. All I'm going to do is pray for her and hope that somehow that she will come up with a better solution than killing herself. And it just makes me sad somebody that young tried to do that. Thoughts on Super Smash Brothers? Oh my gosh. Super Smash Brothers was awesome! Especially if you had a group of friends playing with you. That was even better. You had a huge variety of characters, your favorite Nintendo characters to choose from. But let's face it, there wasn't a person on the planet that really wanted to have somebody be Mario so they could just beat the crap out of them. And now they actually added Sonic in there, and they added a few other characters in there. Everyone wanted to be a Pokemon. Everyone wanted to be Pikachu. Like, seriously, My friends wanted to be Pikachu. They were always Pikachu, and and or Pikachu or Star Fox. That's it. But Mario was always the target. But it was such a fun game. I love Super Smash Bros. Melee. Super Smash Bros. Melee will always be my favorite. And don't get me going. I can go all day and night about that game. But let's move on to another question. Your last question. What do you think of the band Seether? I like Seether. I think Seether is pretty cool. I haven't really listened to a lot of Seether in a while, but they're a pretty cool band, and I think anybody that actually wants that's into rock music, they should listen to Seether. It's pretty cool. Haven't listened to them in a while though. Moving on to my next set of questions coming from WCW3 Count 123. How old are you? And Tama Girl, don't mind me asking. I'm not ashamed of my age. I'm 33 years old. I'm not gonna I don't think Tama Girl's gonna care, but I think that honestly, if you want to know how old she is, it's best coming from her. So like I said, if you have any questions that you want to have for her, please send it to her YouTube inbox. She will answer them for you. And excuse my crackiness. Good grief. Crackle of the voice. But if you have any questions for Tama Girl, send it to her YouTube inbox, and she will respond to you the best way she can. What is the worst food you ever ate? The worst food, I am not a fan of curry. I'm just not a fan of curry. I know a lot of people like, it's not so much of the hotness because I'm a fire breather. I love hot food. I love spicy food. It's just the taste. The aftertaste and the texture of curry is just completely disgusting to me. And not only that, I just can't eat it. It just tastes so funky. And the smell alone drives me insane. I just don't like curry. I don't at all. I tried. I don't even like jerk chicken or curry chicken. I've tried. It just smells weird. But that's just me. And eating curry rice, oh gosh. That's like, ugh. don't get me started on that. Not that anybody, if they like curry, great, but I just don't like curry. But moving on from there. What Victorious and iCarly character will you compare Final Fantasy VIII characters to? Dude, why would you? Man, that's a good question. Okay, iCarly. I would have to say iCarly is more like Selfie. iCarly, she's a very bubbly girl. I would say she's more like Selfie. Victoria, she reminds me kind of like not Renoa. Well, I kind of would say Renoa. The reason why I would say Renoa is because of the fact that she has not because of the black hair. It's because she has that exotic look as well as her having a lot of spice. So I guess I would have to say yeah. I would have to say yeah. Victoria's sister. Ooh. For her being as old as she are, I would have to say she's a brown hair version of Kisses. The witch, I completely forgot her name. I would have to say that she's more like Victoria's enemy. I forgot her name completely. It's been a minute since I've watched that show. But I would say that she's more like the witch. If you know who I'm talking about, please leave a comment in the comment section below. My mind just went, so I completely forgot her name. But yeah, I would say that she's more like the witch. Moving on from there. What is your favorite characters in Lizzie McGuire, and what is your best episode? Oh, gosh. You're awesome with these questions. Gosh, I have to say I love Gordo. Because Gordo wasn't so much of that best friend, like goofy best friend that was like Ducky. And if, for those that were born in the late 80s or early 90s, you would know 16 Candles and you would know who Ducky is. And he was nothing like Ducky. He had a lot of flair, especially the fact that he actually liked the talking like had the during the not prohibition era, but during the 1920s, the 1920s slang, 1920s look, how he loved wearing zoot suits, he loved dressing up like in a classic 1920s style. And that, I'm not gonna lie, the outfits, everything back in the 1920s, even though I wasn't even thought of around that time, was awesome. Especially swing. He loved swing. The guy was cool. He was a geek. Well, I mean, not really so much a geek. He was a nerd, but he was still cool. Not to mention, I thought it was really cute how he had a huge crush on Lizzie. And he had absolutely no way to express it without endangering their friendship. And I know every guy has been through that. And every girl has been through that. And it really did work its way well towards the end and also leading towards the movie. It was still pretty awesome. So my favorite character is Gordo. Will Hilary Duff return? Okay, I know you keep asking about Hilary Duff, Amanda Bynes, and Lindsay Lohan. No, I really don't think that she is going to mess up like Lindsay Lohan and Amanda Bynes. She seems pretty grounded. And not to mention the fact she's very creative when it comes to business. So I don't think that she's going to ever go that route. And besides, she's a mom now, so things are going to be a little bit different. Do you think Bynes and Lohan will be dead in a few years? I hope not. I will pray for them. Continue to pray for them. But thank you so much for sending me these questions. My next set of questions and final set of questions come from Real Spider-Man Noir fan. What do you think of Allie and AJ? Not a fan of Allie and AJ. Let's face it, I love Phil from the Future. Phil from the Future was like a futuristic version of Lizzie McGuire. That's all it was. It kind of annoyed me because there really wasn't anything innovative and creative about the show except for the fact that they're from the future. And Phil was like Gordo, but he was a hot version of Gordo. And then Allie was a hot version of Lizzie. Allison Mashaka was a hot version of Lizzie McGuire. And they were supposed to get together. It was a given that they should have gotten together a long time ago. They got together at the very end, but then it didn't last long because he had to go back. Spoiler alert, my bad. But anyway, it was a given. You kind of knew exactly what was going to happen, and it was just meh. But I'm not really a huge fan of Allison Mashaka, even though her music isn't so bad. But no, I'm not. What do you think of Hikashi from WWF in 1995? That Japanese guy with the letters all over him. Oh gosh, I can't even remember that guy. It was so long ago. Seriously, I can't really remember him. What do you think of Bobby Lashley? Bobby Lashley's a really great character, and the fact is, he would have been toe to toe with Ryback, in my opinion. If he stuck around and actually stayed in WWE and continued on and actually feud with Ryback, it would be an awesome feud. Because let's face it, WWE are missing their powerhouse brawlers. Their powerhouses are gone. There's only one guy left that I can actually call powerhouse, and that's Ryback. He's the only one. So him versus Bobby Lashley would be a great match to see on a pay-per-view. And a great feud leading up to Raw to wherever else they're going to put him at. But he decided to walk away and go to MMA, and I haven't really heard from him since. But for those that have, leave a comment in the comment section below. What do you think of the Steiner brothers in the WWF? They were okay. I wasn't really so impressed with them, even though they had some really great matches at times. I'm like, okay. It's not really, I wasn't really all like, whoa! But they were alright. Who is your favorite knockout in TNA and your least favorite knockout? My favorite knockout is Miss Tessmacher. Because Miss Tessmacher, unlike all the other knockouts that came from WWE who were divas and they went on, I have to say Miss Tessmacher has a lot more appeal. Not only is she very, very pretty, she also has the moves to back it up. She's like a real woman. She looks like a real woman, but she fights like a bear. And that's what I really like about her. I'm a huge fan of Miss Tessmacher. My least favorite, good grief, I got two. One is Madison Rayne. Because Madison Rayne has the best mic skills. She's great on the mic. But she's bad in the ring. Like, she's really bad in the ring. And not only that, I don't like Velvet Sky. I will not ever, there has to be some kind of miraculous moment for me to like Velvet Sky. I do not like her in-ring action. There is no way that I'm going to be happy seeing her freaking crotch in my face every day with her pointing at it and shaking it in the camera. Ew. That just makes you... I can imagine if they put that crap in 3D, you can imagine all kinds of stuff flying out in your face. Ooh, that's why I don't like the crotch shot. It's gross. But those are two people that I don't like. How would Dan and NJ look with dreads? How would Dan and NJ look with dreads? Oh. Well, Daniel is Daniel is half British, and I mean he's half English and half Barbadian. I guess his mom is from Barbados, as far as I know, and his dad is of course, is from England. So honestly, he has some island boy in him. He might be able to pull him off, but I don't ever see him getting dreads ever. NJ, no, NJ is too clean cut to even consider getting dreads, and if he had dreads, oh my god, that's something that I actually will laugh at day in and day out. But thank you guys so much for sending me these questions. As usual, for those that have sent me questions, you will be credited on my credits at the end of this Q&A. This is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out.